Welcome back, everyone. Ellington here, and we are back on Total War Rome 2. We have got ourselves something a little bit different today. This is a 2v2. Yeah, 2v2 on the settlement of Lupfordum. Another one we don't see too terribly often, but every once in a while it comes up. I definitely don't see a 2v2 on this very often, so this is going to be a little interesting. Lupfordum is a pretty compact... So the settlement itself is very big, but the streets are very, very small, to be perfectly honest with you. Very winding, a lot of like weird areas that you can get through. But in the end, the actual capture point is back here, and is basically defended by a point there, and there, basically. So there's only really 3 areas you can come in. But the main place that most people attack is right here on this corner. And it's going to be interesting how this goes, because usually you have at least 3 people where one of those people can put pressure if need be. But with 2 people, putting pressure and expanding this defense is going to be a little bit tough. You can see the defenders. We do have some chariots here from Iceni. Speaking of Iceni, let's go over some, players and such. So for the defenders, as Iceni, I have, Yarr, I'm a pirate. Then we have Swaby being commanded by Decibel. Decibel is the one who sent this battle in. Now for the attackers, we have Massilia being commanded by Mo. And finally, as Carthage, none other than the one and only Gorm Mjolnir. Welcome back to the battlefield, Gorm. It's good to see you, buddy. So this one is going to be interesting. Gorm being, honestly, passive. I'm a bit surprised. Gorm tends to be a very aggressive player. He's got his Libyan hoplites up here busting down some walls. Swaby attempting to send out some club levy to harass, but Gorm doing a very good job with some slingers pestering those units as they come out of the gate. And not only that, defending them with Libyan hoplites. So it's not like cavalry can just easily come out and take out these Balearic slingers. So nicely done there. Club levy only have 40 armor, so they're not going to take that slinger fire very well. And as you can see, well, maybe not. I thought he was going to move it back into the settlement, but now I'm not sure what he's doing. The Gallic Hunters, 45 kills so far. Club levy here still pretty healthy. So far, not much of an advance yet. Usually we will see a push onto that wall first, and then a push here. Because once you break down this wall, you're basically within the control circle. See what I mean? The control circle of this tower right here, which means you can at least neutralize it, allowing you to better push this. So the defenders are probably going to try and keep this as long as they can, so that they can keep that tower firing, and then once it's neutralized, they keep it from firing back at them for as long as possible. Massilia already in with some thorax swords. It looks like Massilia now fully pushing over here. He was kind of had his army set up way over here, but you could see he's getting ready to push in. He's got a lot of Massilian thorough spears. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 Massilian thorough spears with, looks like maybe 4 thorax swords. 5 thorax swords. 6, 7. Wow, 7 and 6. I'm surprised he could afford that much. Here we go. We've got Club Levy going to charge in on some thorax. No counter charge by the thorax. I'm really surprised that thorax was able to get the counter volley off. But the Club Levy really seemed like they caught the thorax sword kind of flat-footed, but I think the thorax was able to countercharge just in time. Well, and the Javi volley would have broken the charge a little bit. But you could see Swordmaster's already going in. The Swordmasters are going to make short work of the thorax sword. All that they need to do is use their archers and counter off the Gallic Hunters. So the Cimbri bowwomen and Gallic hunters are going to match up relatively evenly, but once Carthage gets his Cretans up, then Suebi might be in a little bit of trouble. But as long as the swordmasters are fighting, you know, man to man with no archer attack on them or anything, the swordmasters will win that one-on-one fight. But you can see they do have a secondary thorax now. Now, a little surprised. He put a club levy to attack that, but then took the swordmaster all the way out. If you're going to attack with the one club levy, why not put the swordmaster onto the other unit here? Look in the background, chariots for Mycenae. That's one set of chariots. Where'd the other set of chariots go? He had a set of chariots here. Oh, there's the other one. Looks like he's just holding on to them for a little while. Suebi is losing a little bit of ground here. The response time to these charges are not that clean. So if he's not careful, so like this club levy is only at 97 men. The swordmaster is getting javies into that thorax, but if he's not careful, they are going to bust through this little choke point right here. Here in a moment, swordmasters may just have to go in. They do have club levy on the wall, javying down. You can see the thorax is a little bit more exposed now. Swordmaster's going to go in, club levy breaking, good jabbing toss. Swordmaster's 56 kills so far. They're giving up the gate. They might be able to catch part of this unit if they're fast. But yeah, they are officially giving up the gate. They're falling all the way back. What they're probably going to have to do, they're probably going to fall back. I'm going to bet at least here. You can see the fire range of the gatehouse is here, so they need to get outside of that range. Otherwise, that gatehouse is just going to sit here and shoot them, which is just free kills, and, you know, that's not good for you. Ooh. Iceni probably wants to charge that instead of just letting them sit there and javvy them. Let's get some cinematic looks here. Massilia is a faction we don't see too terribly often. Every once in a while it comes up. It's kind of a... man, it's a tough one because it's a faction that doesn't get a high tier. It gets lots of mid tiers, so it gives you mercenary Celtic warriors, it gives you thorax swords, it gives you Gallic hunters, but it doesn't really have a whole lot of high end, right? So it means that it finds a little bit of struggle in swinging up. You know, some factions can go and swing up a little bit, but if you don't have a unit that can match another faction's high tier units, it can be a bit tough, and Massilia is definitely one of those. But they're also kind of cool because they get a little bit of kind of variety. You get Celtic warriors, you get thorax swords, you get hoplites, you get Massilian thorough spears, you get regular thorough spears, you get mercenary Gallic hunters. You know, it's very, very multi-purpose because if you don't know, Massilia is in modern-day southern France. It's actually, Massilia was the location of the modern-day city of Marseille, and so that's why you have those not variances, but the differences. You have a little bit of barbarian, but also a little bit of Hellenic, because it was originally Hellenic, a Greek colony, and then, if I remember correctly, the Romans took it over after that, and because I think it was, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened, is that it was because I know the Romans took over at some point. I just can't remember what happened between when they took over or not. I know that it was conquered by Caesar at one point. But yeah, so Marseille, or, Massilia is just kind of a cool faction. It's interesting when it does show up on the battlefield. Swaby always a fan favorite, to be honest with you, especially because Swaby, man, Swaby is a very affordable faction. You know, it's a faction that you tend to see a very, very heavy, high-tier presence just because their low to mid-tier units are very, very squishy. And so Bloodsworns are, in my opinion, a very fun unit, but they're very, very susceptible to arrows because of their super low armor. And so most players find that Swaby is honestly far more feasible of a faction if you go very high on the high tier units, because they have just one, better armor. So, you know, the better armor, they pack a big punch, they're relatively affordable, you know, just kind of an overall good faction as a whole. They get a 150 range archer in the Cimbri Bowwomen. You know, they also have a broad array of spear units. You know, just, yeah, a cool faction. Iceni's a faction that you don't see too crazy a lot because Iceni's overall infantry tends to be a little underwhelming when compared to other barbarian infantry. So when you compare it to things like Boii, you know what I mean, or Swaby even, you tend to find a little bit lacking in the Iceni infantry, but Iceni's cool because it does get chariots, even though I personally am not a big fan of their chariots. Their chariots are relatively affordable, but that's about it. I don't think they're as good as like the scythe chariots of Massaicili or Nabatea. Ooh, gotta be careful with the archers here, Gorm. You are getting charged, and I think he actually got a Javi toss on your archer specifically. The other archer over here is actually relatively open. This unit right here could sneak right there and get his other archer. Oh, he javied it. Nice javy. And I think he might go for a reload here. Yeah, I think he's going for a reload. I think he's going to go for another javy toss. Or he's just going to sit there and I'm going to look like an idiot. It's fine. He's charging in. Okay, there we go. Pulling the other unit out. Good job. I'm a little surprised he's there. Okay, look at that. I was going to say, I'm a little surprised he's not sneaking around the side to get into those archers, but unfortunately, he's going to be a little bit too late. Now Massilia's plugging the gap, and the archer is no longer fully open to the charge. Had he just taken this unit here and just charged it in instead of swapping this, he probably would have gotten that archer and done significant casualties to it. Got Balearic slingers over here from Carthage taking on, looks like the Germanic slingers from Swaby. I'm not too surprised. This is a map with a lot of very long, straight shots, so slingers are not terrible to use in these situations. Archers obviously still have the advantages of shooting over buildings and such, but this map is not a bad map for slingers. I wonder, did Carthage go 2 and 2? No, he went 3 and 1. He went 1 Balearic and 3 Cretans, which I think is fair. Balearics kind of got their butts kicked. They got double teamed. Honestly, maybe even triple teamed here. Yeah, I think he got triple teamed. 1 Balearic versus 3 Germanic slingers. They do have 1 Cimbri bow. Uh-oh, this isn't good. Swaby's probably going to have to go in here, or Iceni might be planning to go in. This area here is kind of an overlap of the two defenders, right? This is the place where both Swaby and Iceni are probably going to need to contribute to that. Iceni obviously pulling the main defense here, with Swaby pulling the main defense here. Iceni probably has the easier one here. It's not a very big gap, while Swaby's gap is pretty large. You know, it requires probably 2 units to really hold this. while this one here actually really only requires 1 unit to hold it. Beyond this one here, both players are going to have to concentrate on defending that. I think the Cretans from Carthage are now shooting the Germanic slingers. Sorry about that, I took a drink. Yeah, the Germanic slingers, I don't think he knows about it yet. 78 out of 120, it's got 115 kills, 96, 69. So 115 kills they probably have. I'd say probably about half ammo on them still. Bounce power is definitely slightly in favor of the attackers at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if we see one of the chariots try to sneak in here. Where I would go... I mean, both sides are going to be a bit tough. The problem with both attacking factions is that they both have shield wall, or something that is going to defend relatively well against the chariots. I mean, the noble fighters here don't. Carthage is pretty susceptible to it, looks like. He really doesn't have much that would do well against the chariots. But pretty much everything from Massilia has either shield wall or you got your thorough spears, so on and so forth. So chariots could be relatively useful anywhere that we see a lot of Carthage. Chariot might be able to catch this unawares right there, but all it would take would be this unit going shield wall to stop it. Over here looks like Icini's looking for a little bit of a kill box here. And we might be getting a pullback, actually. How far back are they going? Problem is that that's going to put these guys in a really tough situation. Okay, looks like they're just pulling back to here. Because I was going to say, if they're pulling back any further, these guys are put in a really, really bad spot. That would put Icini, most of Icini's troops, in not a very good position to retreat, because their only avenue of escape would be all the way back this way. And not only that, they would probably need to go all the way back this way, because by the time they made this journey, this would all be cut off. So, yeah, it looks like they're going to defend there. Icini did charge in. Chosen Sword Band going in. It's probably going to need more in there, though. Chosen Sword Band or something. 68 men left. 153 kills. Pretty solid, though. Did I just hear... I just felt... I could have swore I just heard artillery. Yeah, the Iceni artillery's firing. Swordmasters, 287 kills with 2 chevrons. Remember, a chevron is worth something like 500 gold. I am always of the opinion a good rule of thumb is that a chevron per 100 kills is pretty good value. Obviously, the more valuable the unit that you're killing, the quicker you're going to get your chevrons. Gotta be careful with your archers here, Gorm. What are we doing? Letting your men run into battle? Come on. The disappointment is real. Yeah. Swordmasters might be, on their final stand here. 314 kills. They're fighting Mercenary Scutari, which is a good unit, but they're also fighting some Thorax, and they're far outnumbered. Little surprised that we're not getting something like something over here, getting into the side, something like that. Iceni look like they're doing some swapping here. But this is the area that I'm worried about for Iceni. I think Iceni may just consider shifting units over this way. Because I don't know. What I would do is probably a lot of this stuff that's kind of in reserve, I would move over to this side so that if things go to shit, they have the ability to escape. But, I mean, I guess they are pinning down a chunk of units here, so maybe it's not a bad idea. That one damn... Look at this, one Swordmaster just champing it out. But they did finally do what I was just saying about getting around to the side here. Swordmaster 342 kills and quickly wearing down. So what is the next step after that? Oh, here we go. Chariots, are they going in? Yes, I think they are. Now, is Basilia paying attention? We're about to find out. Oh, man. He wasn't. Iceni chariots just ripping through, shredding through the lines. This could be a big game changer, guys. 282 kills, 300 kills. Archers are focusing on them, but, I mean, we're a bit late here. 300 kills. They've only lost 2 chariots. Now they're losing more, obviously, but 448. Don't remember, he's got another one. Or don't forget, don't remember. 504 with 3 chevrons. He's going to get a couple more as this runs away. 516. Yeah, I think they are in a really, really sticky situation right now, and this is not good for Iceni. Because it looks like they don't seem to be committed to stopping this at the moment, which means that all of this is all now pretty much cut off. They can get this way, but it's going to be a bit tough and it's going to be risky. If they're going to do it, they got to do it yesterday. They got to do it like right now, 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. The only way this is stopping is if they just hold that, which they have committed a unit, and they've committed a unit, so maybe they are going to hold that. Main thing I don't like about it is that really exposes this. That shot to archers, things of the sort. Greek Scorpion that hasn't fired a shot, it hasn't killed anybody, could be ripping through this right now. I'm amazed it's not firing yet. Britain skirmishers getting shot up. They haven't killed anything. They haven't shot anything at all. Bounce power is far more even than it was 5 minutes ago. That chariot did a lot of work. Unfortunately, Basilia not catching that and using shield wall. Not using shield wall. Germanic slingers getting back into the fight. 120 kills, 2 chevrons. I'm pretty sure they were chevroned up once prior to the game starting. But the Gallic Hunters are going to beat that. I mean, it's by itself. You have another one here, but that one is gone. There's no way. Okay, they're still shooting it. Right? What are they shooting at? Oh, they're shooting the one behind it. Okay. Oh, because it is now out of ammo. Okay. I see. It wasn't out of ammo when it came up, because it was shooting. But it is now out of ammo. Massilian general moving around. Massilia not quite yet able to bust through this area. I'm not going to be surprised. I think we're going to see chariots very, very soon. Chariots are moving. I'm not sure. It is unclear whether or not the attackers know about them or not. I'm not sure if they were able to see them before, but the question is now, even if they did see them before, are they paying attention now? And once again, this is bad. And a little bit of a lackadaisical response to that. So mercenary noble fighters now busting through the breach. Cavalry, the Carthaginian general, now busting through the breach. Iceni bringing units over, or a unit over. Iceni might just be on a, I'm dying in this spot mentality. I don't know. Yeah, Carthage probably wants to hold on to that general a little bit longer. I think he saw a gap, but that gap closed pretty fast. Massilian Thorough Spears probably need to pin down the Chosen Sword Band. Mercenary Noble Fighters can go ahead and get stuck in here. Mercenary Noble Fighters have already seen some combat, so they will be probably just high. They're probably going to be relatively even overall in combat. But healthy, the Mercenary Noble Fighters, like at full strength, they would beat the Swordmasters. But we'll see what happens on this one. Swordmaster got the downhill charge. Mercenary Noble Fighters, like I said, were already injured, had already seen combat. They feel something here. The attackers are feeling this spot right now. If they had something, it is the chariots! There they are! General Bodyguard. But it's a long ways, man. They already know about it, so you can see they're already shooting it, so it's a long ways. It's not as big of a surprise as the last one was. Okay, you got square formation already with the Massilian Thuros. Problem with that is that means the Massilian Thuros isn't throwing its javelins. And it's going to get charged flat-footed by this Chosen Sword Band. Get a shield wall? Yes, we did. 223. So once again, obviously getting kills, but due to the better response this time, you could see that the chariot is going to get out of this with half of the kills of the other one. It still got a decent chunk and was still probably worth it. If anything, just for the oh my god factor, you know what I mean? It can really throw off the other team when all of a sudden they're having to, like, go crazy and move shit around, do this, do that, blah, 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 because of a chariot, And I think that's the Tide Turner, yeah. Tide Turner, yeah. Yeah. That turned the tide. I think this was already going in the defender's favor. But the chariot play, I think, was the final nail in the coffin. The initial chariot play, I really think, was the thing that changed things up completely and totally. That 500 kills on that one chariot, I think, really took things and turned it on its head, because the attackers had the momentum, the attackers had the balance of power. That one chariot earlier on really swapped that around. This was the final nail in the coffin that kind of broke, it was the straw that broke the camel's back. They're going to have to deal with this stupid Massilian cav that's running around. It's the general, so he's going to be a nuisance. Going to fast forward. He might even just break from army losses before he even gets a chance to do anything. Let's see, let's get one more glorious charge. There we go. Massilian Cav, not bad, not bad. It's definitely like a lower mid-tier, but for the cost of it, it's not a bad, especially for a general, being able to get a general, an 80 Cav general for that cheap is actually pretty handy. Let's go look at some kills here. Obviously, remember the kills are going to be a little bit slanted just due to the fact that there's less men on the battlefield because it's a 2v2. So first off, for Sway Boo, you have Decibel, 2,044 kills. Kind of overall doing really well. The Swordmasters did very well. Really, really healthy Swordmasters left. Yes, 4 healthy Swordmasters. Pirate with 2,645 kills has Iceni. Chariots, 330 and 520. Once again, I think those are the game changers. Look at that, 222, 222. Talk about consistent. For the attackers, we have Gorm Mjolnir as Carthage with 1,387 kills. Just a rough time there. The Chariots really caught both of them, but I think Carthage was definitely the one that was least prepared for a Chariot. Most of these Carthaginian units really aren't prepared for that. You know, your hoplites don't have javies to throw at them, and all your other stuff doesn't have shield wall. So we got Mo as Massilia, 1,624 kills. Archers did pretty well. I don't really know what happened with the Greek Scorpion. He really didn't do much with it. So unfortunately, a bit of waste of money on that guy. And most of his infantry, to be honest with you, I would expect a little bit more. But Leopardum can be tough. It's a tough map. So, but that is going to be it for today's battle. Thank you guys so much for joining. Don't forget that if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and we will see you guys next time.